precious souls that are experiencing homelessness. In fact, the Institute for Children of Homeless and Poverty tracks, and the average age of a homeless person in our country is 9. So those precious children who are still being developed emotionally, mentally, socially, physically, and spiritually are experiencing trauma that many adults have never had to experience. We are seeing also families that are experiencing a homelessness represent about 30% with children. And when school is out, just to give you an idea, many children receive the school lunch program when school is in. And when school is out, that's when we see a huge increase in hunger issues in our children. And amazingly, one of our children shared that they love the Lydia House because of the beds they get to sleep in. And I'm just talking about basic necessities. I'm not talking about the new Air Jordans or the newest video game or the going toy. I'm just talking about children experiencing homelessness, saying that they're grateful for things like a bed and food. So just basic necessities. This little young lady has a gorgeous, contagious smile. And you can notice that she's with one of our Australian sheepdogs that's part of our animal therapy program. We are so, so grateful that we have had such success with animal therapy. Animal therapy is on our campus through Scattered Joy Acres, and they are here once a week with their animal therapy program. In fact, last Friday, we had a baby silver fox that was part of our animal therapy program. I couldn't help myself from stopping, giving a tour to a group from Kansas City to actually hold that baby fox myself, because it was just so darling. But amazingly, we have found with animal therapy, it's very healing for our children. And we have a number of behavioral therapy, cognitive therapy that we use in that program that allows our children to start to have some healing in their little hearts and minds. We also see that 1 out of 5 children in our community go to bed hungry. Right now, we're amongst our couple of campaigns, which is Unpack Hunger and Box Hunger, and as well as our Hunger Hero program. And we are so grateful that our community helps us to provide food for those experiencing homelessness and poverty. In fact, 50% of our women and children at the Lydia House are victims of domestic violence. And on average, it takes a woman 7 times to leave their abuser. It was heartbreaking within this last month to hear that one of our ladies who had 2 small children went back to an abuser and within 24 hours was killed. And the trauma of those children for the rest of their life, in many cases, are going to be experiencing that over and over again as they now are motherless and their father will be incarcerated for a long time. And so the aftermath of domestic violence is devastating for our children that are experiencing it. We right now are in the throes of our Camp Plus Care program. And it has been so amazing to see our children blossom in our partnership with the Boys and Girls Club. Just to give you an idea, our children get up in the morning and have breakfast, and then we have structured programs in the morning while school is out. And so you can see here, they are doing a STEM project with Emily up here in the corner. And we do a lot of science projects. We also have our animal therapy. This is Joy teaching one of our little children how to feed a baby animal. We go on lots of field trips so our children can experience fun things throughout the summer. One of our experiences was going to a movie, and as you can see, they sure love those reclining chairs and the snacks that they had. The other one was actually at one of our rope climbing, and that it takes a lot of energy and a lot of skill. And our kids are tired at the end of the day. So it's great because after dinner, they're ready for bed when they've gone on some of our activity field trips. Trying to allow our children to have experiences that a normal child per se would be having. And this is amazing because we see our children blossom not only in our structured activities, but also going to swim lessons We have tutoring through the summer every day so they can catch up with their peers when they start school in the fall. And we just get to see our children in a very safe therapeutic environment blossom. And so grateful to our donors that provide that. Not only do the children blossom, but the parents blossom because they are in either our recovery program, our Journey to Work program, they're going to work. Some are working on other individual program goals such as housing. But when they know that their children are in a very safe therapeutic environment, they can actually start to address things in their own life too. And it's been amazing to see the families becoming healthy together. A lot of times people say, Candace, how can I help? Well, please pray for our little boys and girls, the most vulnerable in our community. We'd ask that you'd add us to the prayer journal. Your prayer journal. We also ask that if you have not, that consider sponsoring a child for our Camp to Care program for $49 or share it with others, the difference that we're making with our children. Also, you can volunteer at the Lydia House. We have some fabulous volunteer opportunities going on right now. We have our Baby Buddy program where you can come in once a month and you can rock our babies so our moms can go to GED or have a shower. Also, we have our Kids Zone where our kids love to play board games. In fact, if you're not an expert Candyland player, you could be. And so you can be a fabulous board game player. We also have our teen scene. When we have volunteers in our teen scene, our kids love to play video games and access our arts and crafts area, but we have to have supervision. We also have another area with our Reading Rainbow Club, where we have volunteers that are coming in and reading to our children, and they love to be read to. And many of our adults are working on their reading skills as well. So they're working on their GED or their academic goals. And so this allows our children, our littles, to have some opportunities to be read to. Also, right now, we have our Adopt a Guest student program going on. So all of our school-age children will go back to school with school, not only school supplies, but new clothing, so they will look like their peers. And also we have groups that are collecting back to school items for our learning centers here on our campus. We do have some prayer requests. Pray that God will keep our children safe, healthy, and cared for and stable. Pray that our children and families impacted by the Camp Plus Care program this summer, and pray for our staff. These have been some really hot weather days, and we've been outside with our children and it's hot and humid. And then we come inside, and of course, that our children are little, the weather can bring out the best or the worst in us, can't it? And so please pray for our staff and children. Lift up our tutoring program. Although many children have taken the summer off, our boys and girls are still in our tutoring lab trying to retain that knowledge and catch up with their peers, because 76% of the time that a child experiences homelessness, they repeat the grade they're in. And so we are hopefully working on all of those skills so they can catch up with their peers. Pray for families to be reunited and healed. In this day and age, we have many of our women that are entering the Lydia House and their children are in foster care. And we are working on stabilizing the mother and the family so that they can be reunified. And so those are big things that we are praying for on a regular basis. If you want to know more about children experiencing homelessness, you can check out our media center and you can see stories of hope there, our Coffee with Candace podcasts. Also, this morning, we had our Hydrate for Hope on 50th and Center, and we were right outside the Hy-Vee collecting bottled water. We go through about 3 Gaylords or 3 skids of water right now a day here on our campus, keeping people hydrated. And so you can watch our social media pages for an update on that drive, or you can look at other ways that you can make a difference through our Hydrate for Hope program. Well, I used up all of my 15 minutes for our Meaningful Minutes with Candace. And if you want to watch this whole portion, you can find that on our website, I believe, Logan, later on this week. If you wanted to just jump back in and see some stats on children experiencing homelessness. But this is just an opportunity for lunch for us to catch up. We know that hundreds of people watch our recording later. So thanks to you that are watched it live, and thanks to you that are watching it recording. And we look forward to being with you next month as we have another social issue that we'll touch upon in our Meaningful Minutes with Candace.